IVM.
Intel Vpro provides the complete manageability tools to detect, repair, and protect your devices remotely so your workforce can keep doing what they do best wherever they are working from. Today, as most employees and IT teams no longer work under the same roof, fixing glitchy PCs and proactively managing the PC fleet has become increasingly difficult. The Intel Vpro platform addresses these problems. With its Intel Active Management Technology, Intel AMT, Vpro enables IT to keep mission-critical resources running by establishing a secure connection between IT and an Intel Vpro platform-based PC. In the event of a cyber attack, Intel AMT lets IT remotely manage and repair systems simultaneously, even if they're dispersed across multiple locations. PCs can be recovered quickly wherever they may be. Plus, the Intel Endpoint Management Assistance, Intel EMA, enables cloud-based manageability using simple web-based tools to connect with and remediate any Intel Vpro platform-based PC. Both these tools provide better manageability and faster response times, resulting in substantial device management support cost savings and fewer help desk tickets. Visit www.intel.in/IT-heroes to know more. Intel Vpro, built for business. Here's your smart fact of the day. What does Sarah Snow of Snow Media, Lauren Bush of Feed, Alexa Hirschfield of Paperless Post, Stephen Dorn of XYZ Media, and Kylie Smithley of Barley and Birch have in common? Well, what they have in common is that they have used their own successful personal brand to build their company's brand. Welcome to Smarter with Sid. Yes, welcome to Smarter with Sid, in which I'm going to kind of try and talk about how an entrepreneur should be building brand. Most people say when they're entrepreneurs and when they're told to do brand building, not possible. It's meant for people with bigger budgets. I think agencies take me for a ride. I have no idea, but I'd rather focus on creating sales, etc., etc., etc. So that is the typical kind of guff that I get from entrepreneurs. And I call it guff because I think that entrepreneurs are missing a trick by not building a brand in the best possible way that they can, by building a personal brand. But before I get into the solution, let me first state the issue or the problem. Let's take a couple of steps back, shall we? I think the most important thing for us to probably think about or think through is that the way in which digital has kind of changed our lives, it allows us the ability to build brands, not just for our company, but also personal brands, right? And even though that's the truth, a lot of times entrepreneurs, whenever they're starting up in an effort to be frugal, they are trying to use digital as a channel to explore more leads, get more leads, get more conversions and the rest of it. But does that really work? I mean, I think it almost always leads to disappointment. Whether you're B2B or B2C, I have seen entrepreneurs, come a cropper by saying, okay, now let's try and do some A/B testing and let's put an ad out and let's try and get conversions and all. And they're really disappointed with the less than 1% conversions that happen and the kind of leads that actually get made up because there is absolutely zero level of interest or desire or sort of demand that has been generated prior to digital being used as a lead generation and conversion channel. So why do I call digital as the best way to build brand? I think most of us think of big budgets or big sort of advertising campaigns and stuff like that, and we think if that is the way to build a brand on digital, I am not going to be up for it. I just can't afford it. But to be honest, digital has two things working for it, right? For any entrepreneur. One is that it has less friction. So if you're trying to build a brand in the physical world, whether let's say, through some hoarding somewhere or through some event participation somewhere, I don't know, whatever you're doing, it is going to be having all the friction of the physical world. Digital, yes, has clutter, has a lot of, people not seeing your stuff and all of that, and everyone's trying to sell something on the internet, but it still has less friction for a very simple reason. The very simple reason is that you have the potential early adopters and innovators connecting to you and your company brand in a much stronger way through the internet. And this is what most people actually don't really understand, and they should be taking advantage of this. So, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that if you have the ability to have a bit of a following, maybe on LinkedIn or maybe on a Twitter or a Facebook or whatever it is, and you're able to leverage that through the community that you attract, your community is going to be having those people, those early adopters, and those innovators who are going to hook up with you for the value system that you stand for. And because they're connecting with you at that level, they are going to certainly give your product, your service, your offering a try. They're going to get connected to you first, your personal brand. And yes, that is why perhaps building your personal brand becomes so much more important than under normal circumstances. If you're working in a corporate job, maybe it's not that important. Maybe it is important in some other ways, but not as important maybe as when you're an entrepreneur trying to set up your company, because no one's really going to pay too much attention to your company, but they will pay attention to you, right? And the power that you have, and especially the early adopters and innovators in your community. In fact, if you understand branding for what it really is, branding is a specialized form of perception management. Yeah. So you're in the business of creating some perceptions which lead to some kind of interest, desire, demand, all of that. And what you will find very quickly is that people connect to people quicker than they connect to companies, especially if you're setting up a new company. And this is where building your personal brand becomes extremely important. Now, there are many ways in which you can build your personal brand. I'm not getting into the depth of it. Maybe I need to have an online class for building a personal brand at some stage. I will put out a course for that. But at this moment, just have a think about what will be easier, starting, let's say, a LinkedIn group espousing your company, what your company is offering, or a LinkedIn page rather, or starting your own LinkedIn page wherein you're talking about yourself in a very interesting way and adding great content from time to time. What do you think people will gravitate towards more? When your budget is small, but your ambition is big, I think the important sequence, and we had talked of sequencing in the last podcast that I had about mise en place, but over here, the right sequence has to be towards building your personal brand first rather than your company brand. Now, it's counterintuitive. Trust me, some entrepreneurs don't like this one bit. The reason why the entrepreneurs don't like it one bit is because they want to be backroom people. They don't want to be center stage. They want their product or service or offering to be center stage rather than themselves. And I'm saying that is a very dangerous affliction to have in today's day and age. Because unless and until you are literally building something which is absolutely out of the ordinary, you are trying to differentiate on crucial points. And one of the crucial points of differentiation, unless and until you have a completely blue ocean strategy or whatever, is yourself. Because what you stand for, your value system, what your movements that you support, what causes do you support, what interests do you have, are going to be more human and more appealing and more interest-worthy to the early adopters and innovators who should want to embrace you because of that and push you ahead as if they're your brand ambassadors. Sometimes personal branding has to be upfront and center, and I'm arguing that maybe more often than not for these early adopters and innovators, and they will connect better with you. And with that, you will crack open the rest of the market. What do you guys think? In fact, I was recently teaching a group of NASCOM Center of Excellence, and I was talking about this, and I thought that maybe this required a larger audience that I can reach out to with this specific piece of advice. And that is build your personal brand, folks, because the moment you start building your personal brand, you will soon realize that A, it is not that difficult to do, and there are many ways of doing it. B and C, I think it will make the difference for your fortunes. And you know what the most important thing is? That sometimes when you're a startup, it takes a long time to set your house in order. Sometimes you're still building your product, sometimes your services taking off. Maybe you just have 1.5 clients, and maybe you are not regularly, and you're always trying to create a bigger impression for your company than what it is, because you're trying to give some feeling of stability and solidity to potential customers and clients. But if you just build your personal brand while all of this is happening, you will have more traction and more believability. That index of believability will go way higher if people can refer to you and put a face to that name. I hope you like this episode of Smarter with Sid. Many more to come from where this came from. I would say certainly go to my LinkedIn page as well as my Instagram page, wherein I am certainly building that personal brand up, but through hopefully some stuff that creates value for all of us. Let's all become 1% smarter, shall we? And till that time, let's just go to IVM podcasts and just listen to those awesome content pieces out there, right? Until then, the next time we meet. Ciao.
$100. That's all it takes to begin your journey with Bitcoin and Ethereum. No, really. With CoinSwitch, you can start investing in over 100 cryptocurrencies with just 100 rupees. On top of that, there are zero charges for deposits and withdrawals, so you can trade, buy, sell, however and whenever you want. All of this, plus their extremely intuitive interface, makes CoinSwitch the perfect app for beginners in the crypto space. But don't take my word for it. Just download CoinSwitch for free and try it out for yourself. If you'd like more information on cryptocurrencies, tune into a show about crypto with me, Rohan Joshi, my new adventure on IVM Podcasts. CoinSwitch, kuch to badlega.
Hey everybody, it's been a great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, Chef Saransh Goyla talks to Cyrus about his food show, Grand Trunk Rasoi, his experience as a guest judge on MasterChef Australia, and a whole lot more. On All Things Policy, Pratik Vagre talks to Sapni GK and Rohan Sheth to examine the fine print in the Apple versus Epic Games lawsuit. On a bonus episode of Paisa Vaisa, Anupam is joined by Sumit Chanda, CEO at Jarvis Invest. They discuss why investing directly in equity is a better proposition than other financial platforms. On Say No to Drama, Chitna slices through all the time-related nonsense that we throw at ourselves instead of using our time wisely. And on Audio Gyan, Shahina Attarwala from Microsoft talks to Kedar and Abhineet about her decade-long design career and why she likes to call herself a businesswoman with a designer's heart. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. It really does help us. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week: Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quota, CoinSwitch, Kuber, and Intel Vpro. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Namaste, this is Cyrus Brocha. I am part of the government cancel culture program to remove rubbish off all the different streams available. So what we have is all the collected rubbish we put together on our show. It's called Cyrus Says. It's on IVM Podcasts. You have to watch it and listen to it. It's on our app. It's on our website. It's on the YouTube channel. It's on Facebook. There are many different ways. Don't bother me and ask me how. You have to find out. We talk to different personalities. Many of them are known. Some are just people we meet downstairs and invite them up for chai. But the point is, it's fun and it's very therapeutic. So please join in and listen to Cyrus Says.